हरे कृष्ण। कली कुकुर कदन यदि चाहो है। कली कुकुर कदन यदि चाहो है। यदि कलियुग पावन कलि भय नाशन सचिनंदन गाओ हे। कलियुग पावन कलि भय नाशन send it in the group. कलियुग पावन कलि भय नाशन सचिनंदन गाओ हे। कलियुग पावन कलि भय नाशन सचिनंदन गाओ हे। कलियुग पावन कलि भय नाशन सचिनंदन गाओ हे। हरि बोल। कलियुग पावन कलि भय नाशन सचिनंदन गाओ हे। अधर मगन निकायर प्राणधन अद्वैत प्रफुल्लित घोरा। निमाई विश्वंभर श्रीनिवास ईश्वर भक्त समूह चित्त चोरा। कलियुग पावन कलि भय नाशन सचिनंदन गाओ हे। कलियुग पावन कलि भय नाशन सचिनंदन गाओ हे। गौरंगा नादिया ससाधर मायापुर ईश्वर नाम प्रवर्तन शूरा। योगी जन शिक्षक नसिकुल नायक माधव राधा भव भूरा। कलियुग पावन कलि भय नाशन सचिनंदन गाओ हे। गौरंगा कलियुग पावन कलि भय नाशन सचिनंदन गाओ हे। गौरंगा शोधन गजपति तारण अमृत पोषण वीरा। रूपानंद वर्धन सनातन पालन हरिदास मोदन धीरा। कलियुग पावन कलि भय नाशन सचिनंदन गाओ हे। गौरंगा कलियुग पावन पावन कलि भय नाशन सचिनंदन गाओ हे स्वभावन दुष्टमत साधन कपटि विघोषण कामा शुद्ध भक्त पालन सुख जन तारण भक्ति भूषण रामा कलियुग पावन कलिमय नाशन सचिनंदन गाओ हे कलियुग पावन कलिमय नाशन सचिनंदन गाओ हे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओ रंगा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल जय गौर हरि बोल जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणी वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमाप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिसे नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्ण भक्तरूपास्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताक्षं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanto Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, first of all, I seek the blessings of all the assembled devotees here to narrate some glories of the Lord and His devotees. So, we are once again very, very grateful to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. By His causeless mercy, all of us are here together. What would have been if Mahaprabhu's mercy would not have been sent through Srila Prabhupada to all of us? We would have just wasted as we had wasted in so many previous lifetimes. So yes, whenever we come to Dham, we reflect, we pause, because in our regular day-to-day life, we rush so much, from the time we wake up till the time we go to bed. We don't have time to think about. And of course, some devotees might say that, Prabhu ji, Yatra mein schedule bahut zyada tight hai, iska bete we not home also. Right? But, whenever we come together for hearing Katha, whenever we visit Dham, or whenever we get any time, just need to think about it, we need to reflect that how fortunate we are to be blessed by the Lord through His devotees. Especially, we are also very fortunate here, and I feel so thrilled because we are just sitting in a place where Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has played. Can you really believe it? The Simha Guru, he has really played in this area. He has spent his childhood under the care of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur is our 7th Goswami. He has really spent his time here, and we are sitting in this place. What kind of a treasure we have. We should not go away once again as a beggar or as a pauper. We have come to the house of our grandfather, great-grandfather, great-great-grandfather who have kept their treasure here. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he visited the birthplace of his spiritual master, Umarhata, spiritual master Ishwara Puri. He was so much of ecstasy, he was so much of an ecstasy. Oh, this is the place where my spiritual master has appeared. And he took some mud from that place. And then he said that, okay, I will keep it for the rest of my life, and I will just eat it little bit every day. And now there is a big kunda, because all the devotees follow it from there. But yes, the birthplace of these saints are not ordinary places. They have really manifested all their potency there. And it's really up to us to tap that potency. It's really up to us. When we go back, should we kind of really go back empty-handed, with so much of treasure lying here? You see, when Mahaprabhu also traveled South India, he also had some takeaways. Of course, when Mahaprabhu traveled, he told the devotees, oh, I'm just going to find out my elder brother, Vishwarup. But then he, of course, his reason was to spread the glories of the holy name. But not only he spread the holy name, he also brought some took takeaways. Right? What are the takeaways Mahaprabhu brought from his South India tour? Anybody knows? Brahma Samhita, yes. We're so thankful. Through the Brahma Samhita, we understand the Sambandha Tattva. What exactly, who are we? What is the position of the Lord? What is the spiritual world? It's very clearly given. And then what else? Krishna Karnamrita by Bilwa Mangal Thakur. So beautiful poems. Right? He really got some takeaways. Whenever Prabhupada also used to visit different places, he would ask, what is good in that place? Srila Prabhupada went to Jaipur. He said, here they are making nice fragrance and incense sticks. Let's kind of learn and let's kind of start something for us to offer to the deities. So wherever we should go, we should not go empty-handed. And now it's up to us. We just want to take some, something, some good experience, or we want to get that some divine experience. We want to carry some divine love within our heart. So yes, it's really up to us. Yes. Lot of people, in general, right, of course, nowadays it's also very rare, right, like every, dharma, right, every religion, they have a scripture, which really gives us the manual, which gives us a conduct that a human being needs to follow. And especially in Hindu dharma, right, at least everybody, so-called Hindu dharma, everybody respects the Bhagavad Gita. That's why there was Gita mein haath rakh ke kehta hu jo bhi kahunga sach kahunga. At least for the namesake they respect one, right? And at least some pious persons, they start studying Bhagavad Gita, and that's how we conduct our Gita course. At least through that they will really come and really appreciate. But the Prabhupada is saying that yes, that is the basics, right? But of course, as we go deeper, right, because our learning, right, is not linear, it's called cyclic. Once we start Bhagavad Gita, we said, okay, in the beginning we learned body and soul. But then once again, after 10 years also, we kind of study or hear that, we get a deeper realization of that body and soul. We go deeper. That's why it's called cyclic process, not a linear process. But then, yes, we start with Bhagavad Gita. But then, we understand, this is how we need to follow this, one of the four Vaishnava Sampradaya. And in our Vaishnava Sampradaya, what is our manual? What is our manual? Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes. Srimad Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam Vaishnavanam Priyam. Vaishnavan Bhagavatam is the life and soul of the devotees. That's why Mahaprabhu also said, Srimad Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam Prema Pumartha Mohan. Yes, Srimad Bhagavatam, for all the Vaishnavas, Srimad Bhagavatam is the law book. Is the divine book through which, all the Vaishnavas release. Paramananda Pathaya, Prema Varshi Aksarayate, Sarvada Sarva Sevyaya, Sri Krishnaya Namastute. Right? Yes, we are not talking about, so like this rain that we are getting right now, sometimes we feel misery about it. But like you see how people are suffering here, especially with so much of heat, and it could be so solace, right? When they got rain, we might feel, okay, it's difficult for us. But if somebody is really suffering, that rain gives us so much of solace. And similarly, the devotees or all the living entities, they are suffering from this Traya Tapa. And once they get this, Paramananda Pathaya, Prema Varsi Aksarayate, they hear the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam, and it brings a solace to their life. And that's why Sarvada Sarva Sevyaya. It's not that, okay, we hear once in a week, once we go to our center. Or once we come to the Yatra, we hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Sarvada Sarva Sevyaya. Every day we should hear. Every day we should worship Srimad Bhagavatam. Every day we should take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Sri Krishnaya Namaste. Because that is Madeka Bandhu Mat Sangyan. That is our only companion. But then, devotees are saying that, okay, we have kind of started identifying ourselves not only as a Vaishnavas, but we identify ourselves as Gaudiyas. We are part of the Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya. And what is our law book? Chaitanya Charitamrita. Yes. Sri Chaitanya Leelai Amritera Sindhu Trijagata Bhasaite Parijara Eka Bindu. Chaitanya Charitamrita is like an Amrutara Sindhu. Sometimes we have seen that only salt ocean. But can we really imagine the Sindhu of Amrita, the nectar? This nectar which doesn't give, not only gives immortality, but really this Prema Amrita. It really gives the love of Godhead. And it's an ocean is there. And sometimes we say, okay, how can we carry the ocean? No. From that Sindhu, we just take a bindu. Three jagata bhasaite pare tara eka bindu. That one drop is enough to inundate us. Yes, we have a choice. We have a choice. Either we are suffering in Bhava Sindhu, or we have to deep dive in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. What is our choice? We don't want to suffer in this Bhakti and this Bhava Sindhu, Bhava Sagara. Yes. We have to just take a drop from the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and it will inundate us. And you see, the glories of our acharyas. When Sri Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, he wrote it. He was saying that, oh, I'm such a lame person. I'm a blind person. Bruddha jaratura ami andha vadhira. Manamara nahe rahe sthira. Hasta hale manamara nahe sthira. I'm already in the 90s. I'm a Bruddha, I'm a Jara, I'm Atura. Right? What can I write? But only, because the request of the devotees there. He was saying that, yes, whatever I heard from Raghunath Das Goswami, who got it from Swarup Damodar while he was associating here? I'm just making an attempt to write. He was not saying that, oh, I'm just writing it so that everybody will later know that, oh, Sri Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami has written this book. And he would always say that. Jagai madhai hoite mupi uise papista, Puri sara kita hoite muise loghista. I'm such a sinful person, even lower than the Jagai and Madhai. I'm a kind of even lower than the insect in the stool. Can you really imagine the kind of humility he's saying? If you just read this part, we also feel that yes, I am also sometimes fallen, I am depressed, I am dejected, I have no shelter. But we should understand the next part. And what Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. Yes, I am fallen. But then, Nityananda Prabhu, he's so merciful. He's so merciful. He has showered his causeless mercy upon me. Right? And that's how I'm making an attempt to write. So if you just see only the first part, because most of the times, devotees will say, oh, mera kuch nahi hoga, oh, I'm not able to chant, I'm not able to study, I'm not able to, oh, I'm really, so fallen, so fallen, so fallen. But at the same time, we should understand our fortunate position also. Right? How many really get the mercy of Prabhupada? How many they really get the mercy of this Guru Sadhu Shastra? Why don't you kind of, take advantage of it? Feel, grateful about it. Yes, both has to be there. Yes, we should feel hopeless. But at the same time, we should not be helpless. Right? Yes, our acharyas, they are kind of, extending the rope of mercy to us. Yes, we are in that deep dark well. Once they extend that mercy, we have to just hold on to it. Just, maybe around 150 years back or so, this Chaitanya Charitamrita, this book was not available. Somehow it's got unmanifested. And Bhakti Vinod Thakur is so much of effort. He really, revealed this book for all our places. And what to say of that? Just 50, little bit more than 50 years, this Chaitanya Charitamrita was there only in Bengali. Or like maybe some Odia people also could read it. This is not available. Right? What we are releasing now, we are saying that is Amrutera Sindhu. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityakara Pan, Jaha hoite Premananda Bhakti Tattva Gyan. Right? By just reading this Chaitanya Charitamrita, we'll get the Bhakti Tattva. We'll get the Premananda. That was not accessible for entire humanity. But then, Srila Prabhupada, so much of effort, even if it means that he has to pause his Srimad Bhagavatam translation for some time. Then he started translating Chaitanya Charitamrita. And as he started translating, can you believe it? He had so much of engagement, taking care of so many projects, so many temples, taking care of so many new devotees, meeting with so many dignitaries. Right? And whole night, he was really writing the books. For whom? Right? For all of us. Just like sometimes the grandfather, they put so much of effort. They said, oh, my grandson will release it. But then, is it not so unfortunate? Alas, right? That grandson, he would not really kind of, just see what exactly my grandfather has kept it. And he is really kind of just going around as a pauper. That is our situation. Even after devotees spending 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, 10 year, right? Kahan pe? We are still in Bhagavad Gita as it is. We have to progress. Prabhupada is saying that, yes. We have to progress from Bhagavad Gita. Then we should start studying Bhagavatam. And then we should go to Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is a postgraduate study. Prabhupada has written, put so much of effort for all of us. Just like Krishna Kaviraj Goswami, he was saying that I am Anda, Badira, Manamara, Nahesthira. In that condition he has written. Srila Prabhupada also, he has sacrificed his sleep so that we can really wake up from our sleeping condition. But we don't have time for it. Yes, we should understand that. Chaitanya Charitra, Chaitanya Chandra Lila Agada Gambhira. Yes, this is very confidential, very secret. But with Prabhupada's purport, we can really understand the deeper aspect of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Chandra Lila Agada Gambhira, Pravise Karite Nare, Sparshe Rahitira. Yes, on our own, we cannot deep dive into this Chaitanya Charitamrita Sindhu. What we will do, make an attempt. Now, the Sparshe Rahitira. Just like, our devotees also, don't go to the ocean. We'll give you some, glimpse of it, some drops of it. Right? Somehow we are also not qualified to enter into the subject of Chaitanya Charitamrita, but just make an attempt to just touch it. Because Mahaprabhu, he is very merciful. He is very merciful. And even if we don't have qualification, even if we are fallen, because of his mercy, he makes us qualified. Because his pastimes are so wonderful. Achintya Adbhuta Krishna Chaitanya Bihar, Chitra Bhava Chitra Guna Chitra Vyavahar. His everything is inconceivable. Everything is Achintya, Adbhuta, Vichitra, astonishing. That how he was really delivering the animals. Or we saw that how a stone could melt just by his association. But then, what is our condition? Somehow we are not able to get the taste. We are not able to release Chaitanya Charitamrita. Right? Yes. We should make an attempt. We should make an attempt to take shelter of Chaitanya Charitamrita. And for that, of course, we need to go step by step. We cannot also jump in. So, as we are sitting under the shelter of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, we'll take some of his teachings and we'll like to elaborate or discuss from the Gaur Leela how these principles are important. One of the famous letter that Srila Prabhupada wrote to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and also he offered as a Vyaspuja offering as well, and that really touched Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, because Prabhupada always says that my only qualification is that I'm being just chaste and loyal to my spiritual master, and he would always be thinking that how can I please my spiritual master, and just when he sent this offering to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was so happy just reading this letter. Anybody knows which is that letter? What he wrote there? What he wrote there? The absolute is sentient, thou hast proved. All impersonal calamity, thou hast removed. That absolute is sentient, right? The Supreme Personality Godhead, he is Sat Chit Ananda. He is not just just a Brahman or just a Maya or illusion. And then this impersonalism is really calamity. And it is really devours the person. But you, Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur, you have come as a light to remove this darkness. So what is this impersonalism? This impersonalism is nothing but, right, once again, we don't really understand the tattva, our sambandha tattva very clearly. What is that sambandha tattva? We don't understand the position of ourselves. We don't understand the position of the Lord. Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnave. These are the four aspects. They are insensitive to these four aspects. What are the four aspects? Mahaprasad, Nama Brahma, Vaishnavas and Mahaprasad. Govinda, Mahaprasad, right? This is the four. And here, the primary example of that was really Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He had not so good understanding on these four aspects. And on the first day we heard that, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, he from this Athara Nala, he got really so much ecstasy. And then he came and went inside the temple. And as soon as he saw Krishna, that he was really feeling so much of separation. Finally, he had got this darshan, and he felt completely unconscious. And seeing his unconsciousness, all the guards, they were kind of trying to beat him. Oh, who is this sannyasi who is just kind of lying? Is this a mad person? At that time, the chief priest, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, somehow he was there and he saw that, he doesn't seem to be an ordinary person, because he's a great scholar. He was known as that he was a Pandit of the Sada Nyaya, Sada Shastras, right? And he could understand that he is having some ecstatic symptoms. Then he said to all the guards, please carry him to my home. Some of you might have already visited the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, just nearby. He took Mahaprabhu, and then just following him, later on, of course, Nityananda, Jagadananda, Mukunda, they came there and they found out where is Mahaprabhu right now, and they also went to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house. And finally Mahaprabhu came to consciousness with so much of, he was feeling so much of separation from Lord, and then somehow he came out with external consciousness. At that point of time, Mahaprabhu, then he went to take bath, and then he came down, had some prasadam with the devotees. But then this Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he was thinking that, this sannyasi, young sannyasi, he's so beautiful. But what exactly his identity? Then he asked his brother-in-law, his Gopinath Acharya, who is he? And Gopinath Acharya, because he was also there in Navadip, he understood what is the real identity of Mahaprabhu. And quoting different shastras, he established that how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And at that point of time, still Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya had not complete realization of that one. But then he said, we carried forward. But then still he was thinking that, he is from this Bharati Sampradaya and he's a young sannyasi, right? Let him upgrade him to like this Puri Sampradaya or a higher Sampradaya. And then so that he can really be elevated. And so that he can really maintain his sannyas. And then he said that, okay, now I'll teach you Vedanta Sutra. And in front of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Mahaprabhu heard for 7 days. Can you believe it? Who really defeated Digvijay Pandit, who was empowered by Mother Saraswati. Right? That Digvijay Pandit, Kesav Kaswari, he was defeated while staying in Navadip. But then here Mahaprabhu is just teaching, that how to really also transform different people at different point of time. You see Mahaprabhu, like if you see our teachings of Lord Chaitanya that Srila Prabhupada has given, that one of the first book that he gave. He really gave the 5 conversations of Mahaprabhu. He gave the conversation of Mahaprabhu with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, conversation of Mahaprabhu with Prakashananda Saraswati, conversation of Mahaprabhu with Rupa Goswami, conversation with Sanatan Goswami, and then conversation with Ramananda Rai. Right? The first 2, conversation with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Prakashananda Saraswati, Mahaprabhu established the Sambandha Gyan. Who is the Lord and who are we and what is our relationship? He has really emphatically has brought that out. And then when we discussed with Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, the Prayag, the Saswamedh Ghat or Varanasi, he really established how bhakti is the supreme. And then not only he told them, Sakti Sancharya, he empowered them as well to write the books. Prabhuro Agyayamani Sarpa Sastra Vichar Prajeda Nikuda Bhakti Karila Prachar. This is what Rupa and Sanatan did. Hearing from Mahaprabhu the different aspects of bhakti from the different scriptures, they collected it. Right? And then Brajera Niguda Bhakti Karila Prachar. And this is the mood of the Rupa and Sanatan Goswami. And then, of course, when he discussed with Ramananda Rai on the bank of Godavari or here in this Gambhira, right? They discussed on the prema, right? There's a prayojana tattva. Now, what is the deeper aspect of that, right? So that's why, sometimes, we think that, what is there in Prabhupada books? But in that, just only one volume of teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Prabhupada has given everything there. Right? Yes. What do you have to do? You have to just open the book and just read it. And can you believe it? Sometimes we might think that, maybe after a decade we will study Mahaprabhu's teachings. Srila Prabhupada has written this book, I think in 67 or, right? And in the beginning only, Mahaprabhu was kind of talking about Sanatan Goswami, Rupa Goswami and so on. Right? So it's not that we have to wait for some period of time to read this book like teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Once you read it, Siddhanta boliya chitte na karo alas. Jaha hoite Krishna lage sudrudha manas. Right? Don't be lazy. Right? In studying the scriptures. Once you study the scriptures carefully, diligently in the association of devotees, taha hoite Krishna lage sudrudha manas. Then only we can have faith in Krishna, in the holy name. And we see that. Then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, when he heard, then from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, okay, I have heard from you. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya asked, but did you understand what I said? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I heard it. No, but the kind of the understanding of Vedanta Sutra that you are giving is just like, sun is covered by the cloud. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was really surprised. Till this point of time, nobody had really questioned, his commentary. He was really the topmost scholar in India at that point of time, because there was called some Nyaya Shastra, right? That was available only in Mithila, right? Even he had learned from there, and he had kind of mastered all the philosophies. And now he was really kind of being told that whatever you are given is like a cloud or the sun. But then Sarvabhauma realized that, he heard so submissively. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu though kind of suggested that okay, it is not correct, but he heard it submissively for 7 days. Then in a very humble way, he also asked, can you tell me what do you really understand, from this Vedanta Sutra? Then Mahaprabhu, described so much. That what is this Vivartavad, what is the Parinamavad, what is the purpose of Shankaracharya's coming, why he has given this philosophy, and what is the right understanding of Vyasadev, commentary of this Vedanta Sutra that is really available in Srimad Bhagavata. He has described so much in detail. After hearing this, his heart got transformed. And then another day, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya approached Mahaprabhu, I want to hear that how everybody loves Srimad Bhagavatam, everybody loves Krishna Katha, And there's a beautiful verse, 1:7-10, Srimad Bhagavatam. Atma Ramayascha Munayo Nirganti api urukrame kurbanti ahetukim bhakti itham bhuta guna hari. How Lord's pastimes are so beautiful, so enchanting, so enriching, that even the person who is self-satisfied, right, they also relish, they also nourished by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. But then, Mahaprabhu first told Sarvam Bhattacharya, could you please explain what you have really understood from this verse? And Sarvam Bhattacharya, as he is a Pandit, he explained in 9 ways. And then he requested, Sarvam Bhattacharya requested Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu would really appreciate if you can really share your thoughts. And without touching any of these, understanding of Sarvam Bhattacharya, he explained in another 18 different ways. And when he heard that, wow, right? You must not be an ordinary person now. You are the Supreme God, Supreme Lord Himself. Right? And then he requested Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu, please, oh, you are in a real form, please don't make me fool anymore. Right? And at that point of time, it is mentioned that, how Sarvam Bhattacharya, he witnessed this beautiful Sadbhuj Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki. How many of you have seen the Sadbhuj Gauranga deity in the Sri Mandira? Yes. So, because some people, right, this is one thing at least, when you come to this Yatra, one thing we should have really strong faith that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not just a saint, he's not just a devotee, he's not just even an avatara, he's avatari, he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he's a Krishna himself, right? And just to prove that, right, we see that like in Sri Mandira, yes, there are a lot of devatas, temples are there, right? But then we can see that only Mahaprabhu, who just appeared 500 years back, and he is really shown as Supreme Personality of Godhead. And multiple places, right? You stay in Garuda Stamba, right? On top of the Garuda Stamba only there's a nice, deity is there. And then you go to Dakshina Dwara, it's a beautiful Sadbhuj Gauranga is there. Why? Because Sarvam Bhattacharya, King Pratap Rudra, they didn't have an iota of doubt on this aspect. That Mahaprabhu, Jai Gaura, Sai Krishna, Sai Jagannath. And Mahaprabhu showed this Sadbhuj Gauranga Rupa. Right? I guess, what is there in Sadbhuj Gauranga Rupa? One is as a Ram, holding a bow and arrow. Another one holding a flute. And third one is Kamandalu and Danda. Actually, there's a nice, Mahaprabhu would be thinking that, this wood, right? I'm holding in all the yugas. Sometimes it's a bow and arrow, sometimes a flute, and now sometimes the Danda. Right? You see, even the Lord Narayana, once he has a Chatur Puja, right? 2 are for killing the demons and 2 are for protecting the devotees. Right? But here also in Sadbhuj Gauranga form, the 2, right, which is the bow and arrow, to annihilate the demons. And the other 2, the flute, for taking care of devotees. But then why he is holding now this Danda and Kamandalu? To give prema. Even that prema which was not given in earlier incarnations, now Mahaprabhu is giving that. That is so unique about it. That he is not just annihilating the demons, right, by removing all the demoniac propensities. He protecting the devotees, but he is giving also the prema. That's why it is called the Ram. Yes, of course, we should not differentiate, the different forms of the Lord, but it's from the Bhava perspective. Right? You understand that how Lord Ram is Maryada Purushottama, and Lord Krishna is a Leela Purushottama. He performed some wonderful pastimes, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a Prema Purushottama. He just, always in ecstasy, and he gives this love of Godhead to everybody. Anarpita charim chirat karunaya vartirna kalo samarpaitu unnata ujjvala swabhakti sriyam hari puradak sundara duti kadamba sandipito sada hrudaya kandare spurato sachinandana Rupa Goswami is saying that Anarpita Charit Chirat. For so long, this Ujjvala Rasa, Prema Ujjvala Rasa was not given by anyone. And that is really given by Mahaprabhu. And he has appeared in Sachigarva Sindhu. He has appeared as Sachinandana. And let that lion Simha, Navadipe, Simhera Avatara, Simha Griva, Simhera Hunkar. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has really appeared as a lion. And that lion, let it enter the cave of my heart, which is so dark, with so much of fierce animals. But let that lion enter into my heart and kill all the ferocious animals, and my heart becomes peaceful. That's how Rupa Goswami is praying. Yes, we should pray once we come in front of Sachinandan Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Oh Lord, my heart having so much of anarthas, please enter in my heart. So, yes, Sarvam Bhattacharya, he witnessed the beautiful Sadbhuj Gauranga Darshan. Right? And yes, as we said, at least this much we should have this clarity, and we have that faith that Mahaprabhu is non-different than Krishna and Ram. Jai Gaura Sai Krishna Sai Jagannath. And then he got right understanding now who is the Lord. Then another day he comes to Mahaprabhu and asks that, Mahaprabhu, what is the best form of connecting to the Lord? What is the best process of executing this devotional service? And what is Mahaprabhu's answer? Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, kalo naste, naste eva gatir anyatha. There is no other way to connect ourselves to the Supreme Lord apart from chanting of the holy names. So now we talked about four aspects. He got right understanding of Govinda, he got right faith in the holy name, and then third aspect comes, is really Mahaprasad. One fine day, early in the morning, Mahaprabhu comes from this Uppala Bhoga, Gopal Vallabha, this is the first Bhoga that is really offered to Lord Jagannath. And Mahaprabhu carries it and brings it for the... I was thinking my Madhya book is there. Yeah, thank you. Yes. So here he was thinking that Mahaprabhu brought Mahaprasad. This is our So Mahaprabhu brought Mahaprasad, and then he came to Sarvam Bhattacharya's house. And then at that point of time, Sarvam Bhattacharya had just woken up. And as a Brahmana, right, as a Smarta Brahmana, the first thing is that, okay, you really take bath, and then you do all the, all the rituals, and after that you take something, we connect something to the Lord. But then, what he saw today, what Mahaprabhu saw today, that as soon as Mahaprabhu entered with Mahaprasad, and Sarvam Bhattacharya begged and requested Mahaprabhu, please, offer this Mahaprasad to me. And Mahaprabhu was surprised. How come you have not finished all your rituals, and how come you are, asking for this Mahaprasad? And then Sarvam Bhattacharya, he is saying that Nada sadi niyamastatra nakala niyamastata praptam arnam drutam siste bhoktavyam hari apravet. He is saying that this is the glories of Mahaprasad. The Mahaprasad doesn't get contaminated, doesn't get polluted at any point of time. And as soon as you receive it, there is no time, place, and circumstances. As soon as you received it, we should honor it. Because Prasad, Prabhu ke Saksa Darshan. Right? Yes. That Mahaprasad is not different than the Lord Himself. Lord's mercy. There is the mercy of the Lord. Right? If somebody is really a big celebrity, He is there. Can we make Him wait? No. Right? We really respect Him. We really honor Him. We acknowledge Him. And we now, this Mahaprasad is there, then we honor it. That's the best way of respecting that Mahaprasad. And seeing that, Mahaprabhu was so happy. Mahaprabhu was so pleased. And Mahaprabhu said to Sarvam Bhattacharya, today I have conquered the 3 worlds. Because now Sarvam Bhattacharya has started appreciating the glories of Mahaprasad, the glories of the Lord. And at that point of time, like as we heard from yesterday from Prabhuji, Sarvam Bhattacharya, his heart got transformed and he wrote beautiful compositions glorifying Mahaprabhu. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga Siksarthameko Purusho Purana Sri Krishna Chaitanya Sariradhari Kripam Bodhiryastamaham Prapadde. Oh Mahaprabhu, you have appeared to give this Vairagya and Vidya, and with your own example. And you are so Kripam Bodhir, you are the ocean of mercy, and you have given this to all of us. And now, we are so grateful, which was not given by any incarnations. Now you have come to give this mercy to all of us. Right? And this wonderful verses, Sarvam Bhattacharya have kept it, and it is mentioned by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. This is the like Ratna Haras. We should really sing these verses. We should recite these verses. Right? Because this is the glorification of Mahaprabhu. Bhaja Gauranga, Kaho Gauranga, Laho Gauranga, Namare, Jai Javana Gauranga, Seva Jamara Pranare. If you want to be dear to Mahaprabhu, you want to Nityananda Prabhu, you want to be dear to the devotees, we should always chant the Nam, Rupa, Guna, Lida of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. This is the verses. Pranamami Sachi Sutta Gaurava. We should always remember and offer our obeisances to Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And the other day, Mahaprabhu really, visited Sarvam Bhattacharya's house. At that point of time, Sarvam Bhattacharya was reciting a verse from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 14th chapter. He started reciting, Tatenu kampa susamekshamanam bhunjana evatma kritam vipakam prudbhaga vapo vividhan namaste Jivetaya bhakti pade sadaya bhakti. And Mahaprabhu heard it. Whenever Mahaprabhu would hear Srimad Bhagavatam, he would dance. Sometimes he goes sleep, right? Not even awake. But whenever when Mahaprabhu was traveling once, right? When he heard there was one devotee who was chanting, Mahaprabhu started dancing, right? Really dancing for hours, right? That's the Mahaprabhu got the ecstasy when he hears Srimad Bhagavatam. But today he said, Sarvam Bhattacharya, Sarvam, wait, what do you say? Jivetaya mukti pad. Right? Verse is Jivetaya mukti pade sadayavar. But you are chanting Jivetaya bhakti pade sadayavar. Why you are changing this verse? Then Sarvam Bhattacharya is saying that, oh Mahaprabhu, I was so far eating, this dry cake, which is no taste, which is related to this mukti, this Saicha mukti, this, that, and all this impersonal understanding. And now you really hate even to utter this word of mukti. And he said, I want to put it as a bhakti. This is the mercy of Mahaprabhu. This is the mercy of Mahaprabhu. And that's how